Today I'll show you how to use Schedule Planner, a course registration tool. To get the Schedule Planner, you would first sign on to Cyberfryer and then select Student Services, next Registration, and then on the left-hand side you'll see Schedule Planner. Once you select that, you'll come to this main screen. For this tutorial, we'll be looking at fall 2020, but you will see if you're looking for courses after October 15th, spring 2021 will be an option for term. So we save and continue, and then we start at this main screen. A couple things to take notice of is we want to look for open classes only. This is going to help you make sure that these courses are available at the time you're searching and make the registration process easier for you. To add courses, you simply click Add Courses. And so I'm going to build a schedule for a first semester student. So I know based on my academic guidebook and my conversation with my advisor, I'll need Development of Western Civilization 101. So I select Subject, DWC, and Course 101. So I'll get a tutorial or an overview of Development of Western Civilization 101. I will add this course to my list. Next, I'll add an economics course that I spoke to my advisor about. I will go in and I'll look at 102, which is macroeconomics. Again, I read the course description to get a sense of what the course entails, and then I add it. I'll also add a biology course because that's something that I could potentially be looking to major in. I go down, I select Bio 103. So again, I look at the course description and I add it. Another great part of Schedule Planner is your ability to look for core requirements. You can do so by going Search by Section Attribute. When I go into the Attribute category, once I type UG, you will see UG Core and then the specific designation of different core requirements. So for this tutorial, I want to try to complete my civic engagement core requirements. So once civic engagement, UG Core civic engagement is in the attribute field, now you will see all of these subject matters have courses that are going to fulfill the civic engagement requirements. So if I look at political science, I will see that Politics 101 fulfills the civic engagement requirement. So I read the course description, and in this one, it actually shows me in the last sentence, this course meets the objectives for the college civic engagement proficiency requirements. So I will add this course. So you should be taking 5 courses a semester, but I'm going to stick with these 4 for right now. I do done, and you'll see these courses here. When I go to generate a schedule, the system lets me know that Bio 103 comes with a lab, so I need to add that co-requisite. So I add that in place, and you'll see that now that Bio 103 lab is present. Another thing to keep in mind is the system will automatically combine Civ, seminar, and lectures, so you don't have to combine them manually. Let's say we go through here and I want to learn more about the course modality, how certain courses are being taught. I can go into the options field by clicking on this gearbox, so we'll use Economics 102 as an example. You'll see as we look at these courses that are available, there are synchronous courses, which means that they're online, synchronous meetings, and split courses, which means that it's half and half. So maybe I decide that I do not want the split sections and I only want to do synchronous meetings. Once I click Save and Continue, now you'll see that this economics course, when I go back into options, I only have online courses, synchronous courses, not split courses. So again, Save and Continue, and we will generate schedules. So you'll see, based on these courses, I have 216 viable schedules. One other thing to keep in mind is, let's say that you have work commitments or you're a student athlete, you can include a break in your schedule. So for this, I'm going to say that I have work from 4 to 6 p.m. on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Please note that sometimes when you do put breaks in, this will limit some of the courses you need. So occasionally you might have to uncheck this to make sure that you can see all of the courses, and then maybe move around depending on how important that break is. So I check this off. And now we had 216. When I generate again, you'll see that went down to 52 because there were some courses that conflicted with my work schedule. So now, when I click View, on this page, you will see the course number. You'll see the course registration number, what we call the CRN. Each course has its own unique 4-digit code. You will see the day and time it's being offered and the classroom or the modality. If it's online or if it's in person, you'll get a building. As we scroll down, you will see all of the courses that we put on our list, as well as work that I put on my schedule here. So to go through your options, because there was 52 of them, what we can do is on your keyboard, if you hit the right arrow key, you will see as I press forward, all of the classes start to pivot. So you'll see in this example, this has the same Civ lecture, but it has 2 separate seminars. You'll see sometimes it doesn't move, just the professor will change. So as we go through, you can see a lot of movement here. So let's say I really like this Civ lecture. I could lock this lecture. And by doing so, it brings us back to the main screen. We save, we generate again, and we have 2 schedules. So we went from 216, and then we added a work schedule, and we went to 15, and now we only have 2 viable options because we locked in this Civ section. So you can see now when I hit the right arrow, it changes a little bit, the professors change, but the courses don't as much because this is locked. Let's say if I uncheck this again, we go back to the main screen, we go back to 52, we save it, and I can go in and actually make a favorite schedule. So if I start scrolling through, let's say I want my Tuesdays open, maybe I need that to work, or it's just more convenient for my schedule, I can actually save this by clicking the arrow. So I could do favorite schedule 1 and then save. So I can then go back in and look at that. That's saved now. So if I make other changes, this will still be there. I encourage you to make multiple favorite schedules to ensure that you have backups. I also highly recommend that if you start to play around with Schedule Planner, make sure to go back before registration. Please do not make the mistake of building this before anyone starts registering for classes and then not going back until the morning of your registration. It's important that you keep an eye on the schedule because some classes will start to close out as students ahead of you, seniors, juniors, sophomores, if you're a freshman, you go after all of those classes. So you want to make sure you're aware of the other dates of registration to ensure that you still have viable options. The more backups you have, the better and easier it will be for you to build a schedule. The one piece you can't see on my schedule is if I like this, if this is the schedule, if I enjoy the meeting times here, it works with my work schedule, on the top right, on the top left in your schedule planner, it will say send to registration card. You will then click that on the morning of registration and it will pull over all of these CRN numbers, these course registration numbers, into CyberFriar for you, and then you can submit to actually add your courses. If you run into difficulties, if something's closed out, you can go back into Schedule Planner and you'll see any course that you were able to successfully register for would now have a lock in place. So if needed, you could go back in with those 2 courses locked, generate a schedule, and you'll find now that there are 11 options. So this is taking into account that your biology lecture and your lab are locked in place, and all other courses will pivot around that. I highly encourage you to play around with Schedule Planner. It's an outstanding tool to give you more power to control your spring registration. Thank you.